Welcome to the campus of Western Washington University for this women's basketball battle here in the GNAC as the Western Washington Vikings welcome in the Alaska Fairbanks Nanooks. I'm Sean Wally, joined tonight by Ben Bagley. And the Western Washington Vikings, they were dynamite on Thursday night in an upset victory over the Seawolves.
Yeah, against number 4 ranked nationally Alaska Anchorage Seawolves, the Western led wire to wire. That's now 2 straight games for the Vikings, knocking off top teams in the GNAC. Last Saturday, they beat Northwest Nazarene, and on Thursday, knocking off Alaska Anchorage.
A huge night for Emma Duff. She had 20 points pacing the Vikings. Those 20 points in just 3 quarters.
Yeah, Emma Duff is firing on all cylinders offensively right now. In her last 2 games, averaging 18 points. That's 16 against Northwest Nazarene and 20 against Alaska Anchorage. And she can get it done anywhere on the floor. She's great driving, getting some layups, great in the mid-range, and another great 3-point shooter for the Vikings.
Every team needs good senior leadership, and the Vikings have that in their floor general, none other than Lexi Bland. She scores from anywhere on the court. She's tenacious on defense, but she was great with assists on Thursday night.
Yeah, 8 assists for her against the Seals. That's a career high. And what Lexi Bland does so well is she just plays so fast. She's the bread and butter of both this Western offense and this Western defense. On defense, she smothers the ball carrier. She gets right on them. And on offense, she really pushes it in transition. A lot of her assists come right after a missed basket. She runs down the floor, finds an easy transition point.
For the visiting Nanooks, they have lost 8 straight. They're 1-8 in GNAC play, and they are the caboose in the conference, last place.
After going 5-4 to start the year, they've really sputtered here, losing their last 8. Vikings here, history says they'll be able to win against Alaska Fairbanks, 25-0 at home against Alaska Fairbanks. However, they can't take this game. They can't overlook this game. 2 great wins against the GNAC teams. Now, after playing the top 2 teams in the GNAC, now playing the last team in the GNAC, they still got to keep that killer mentality to make sure they keep moving on up in the standings.
Very important that the Vikings do prove that Thursday night was not an aberration. Up next here on Vikings TV, it's the Vikings and the Nanooks after this.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to Carver Gymnasium for this evening's contest between your Western Washington University Vikings and the Alaska Fairbanks Nanooks. Fans, at this time, if you will, please rise and remove your hats. We will honor America with the playing of our national anthem. This evening's performance will be by the Western Washington University Pep Band. Thank you, Viking Band. Now, fans, here are the starting lineups. First, from the visiting Alaska Fairbanks Nanooks, as announced by their head coach, Kerry Nakamoto. Coach Nakamoto is assisted by Jesse Craig. Fans, let's welcome to the court number 5, Kylie Wallace. Number 13, Brittany Richards. Number 14, Jocelyn Gandara. Number 15, Sabrina Ungaro. And number 23, Sam Tolliver. Fans, these are the Alaska Fairbanks Nanooks. Viking fans, are you ready? Fans, now here is the starting lineup for your home team, the Western Washington Vikings, as announced by our head coach, Carmen Dolfo. Coach Dolfo is assisted by Stacy Terrell, Kayla Burnson, and Zach Phelps. And joining the Viking team bench this evening as an honorary coach, fans, let's welcome Dr. Tracy Peischer, assistant professor in the Woodring College of Education. Fans, now welcome to the court, a 5'6" senior from Ellensburg, Washington, number 3, Lexi Bland. A 6' junior from Tumwater, Washington, number 12, Emma Duff. A 6'1" junior from Bothell, Washington, number 15, Kelsey Rogers. A 5'9" sophomore from Napavine, Washington, number 32, Molly Olson. And a 6'3" senior from Evergreen, Colorado, number 44, Anna Schwecke. Fans, these are your Western Washington Vikings!
Welcome inside Carver Gym on the campus of Western Washington University. Sean Wally alongside Ben Bagley on this Vikings TV and GNAC.TV broadcast. Thanks for joining us tonight as the Vikings welcome in the Nanooks from Alaska Fairbanks.
Yeah, the other Alaska team, as Western just played, number 4 nationally ranked Alaska Anchorage Seawolves and beat them here at Carver on Thursday, 71-65. Vikings in their last 2 games have knocked off both of the top teams in the GNAC. Of course, Alaska Anchorage, and last Saturday beating Northwest Nazarene. However, this might be the definition of a trap game here. Just beating the top 2 teams in the league, now playing the last team in the league. Western will definitely need to keep their killer mentality in order to secure another victory.
The Nanooks have lost 8 straight and are 1-8 in conference play. Trap game to say the least. Nanooks begin with the basketball. Wallace throws it away, and that will be a turnover. Over and back, it will be Viking basketball.
Now, one of the things the Vikings are doing so well this season is getting steals, blocks, and forcing turnovers. Against Alaska Anchorage, they forced 22 turnovers. Against Northwest Nazarene, they forced 16. It's a great boost to their offense when they're getting quick transition opportunities.
First possession for the Vikings. Lexi Bland, left-hand dribble. Off the screen from Schwecke. Schwecke had a quiet scoring night on Thursday in the big Viking victory. Shot doesn't go there for the Vikings. Back come the Nanooks. Gandara. Skip past to Wallace. Wallace, the jumper from the right elbow off back iron. Bland the rebound. Emma Duff had 20 points in 3 quarters Thursday night. Finds Kelsey Rogers where she likes to be, on the block. Rim doesn't let the ball fall. Molly Olson the rebound. Bland open for 3. First bucket of the game for Lexi Bland of Ellensburg, Washington, 3-0 Vikings. The Nucks looking for their first bucket. Gandara, the long jumper off iron. Bland tracks it down in the corner.
Watch Lexi Bland here to push the ball in transition.
How did Duff save that to Olson? Can't get the short shot to fall. Schwecke had the basketball, but it's knocked away. Back comes Alaska Fairbanks.
Lexi Bland not with the best there, not with the best pass there in transition. However, what she does so well is pushes the ball to look for those fast break opportunities.
In the corner, the Nunucks go. They try to go down low, but the height and length of Schwecke gets in the way. Look at the nice behind the back dribble by Bland. In the lane, she is fouled. First foul of the game. This on Jocelyn Gandara
And
of Alaska Fairbanks.
Already just over 2 minutes into the game, and Lexi Bland is already showing off how fast she likes to play. Another drive right there. It was only 5 seconds into the shot clock that she got fouled. She likes to push the ball, and it works very well for her in this Viking offense.
Schwecke goes up strong on the left side of the lane. She is fouled, and Anna will head to the free throw line. That foul on Brittany Richards.
Schwecke heads to the line. She is 3rd in the GNAC in free throw percentage, shooting 86.4%. However, she shoots the ball from everywhere on the court. 1st in the GNAC in free throw percentage, shooting 60.4% from the floor, the only player over 60% shooting in the GNAC. She's also ranked number 15 in all of Division II in field goal percentage. Only 16 players in all of Division II are shooting over 60%, and one of them is number 44 for the Vikings.
The Nucks looking for their first basket. They're not going to get it quite yet. Ball is out of bounds off of Western Washington. So you take a look at the replay, the long pass, the skip pass ahead, and they say Lexi Bland last touched that ball. Offensive foul on Samantha Sockelman. 5-0 Vikings, something to keep an eye on throughout the game, Ben. The Vikings led wire to wire Thursday night against the Seawolves. So far, they're at 5-0. We'll see if that continues here tonight.
Yeah, one of the things the Vikings do so well is once they're ahead, they make it so difficult for an offense to get back in rhythm because they play such smothering defense. So Vikings with another early lead here. What they're going to do well defensively throughout this game is throw off any plans Alaska Fairbanks had to try and attack them offensively.
Kelsey Rogers too strong on the shot, but Anna Schwecke muscles up and lays it up and in. 7-0 Vikings.
Anna Schwecke, 7th in the GNAC in rebounding, and the Vikings 1st in the GNAC in rebounding margin. Already a number of offensive rebounds and a second chance point there for Schwecke, showing off her size and strength.
A very late whistle as the shot is missed by the Nunucks.
Let's look at this last bucket. That's going to be an offensive rebound by Anna Schwecke. First, the shot by Kelsey Rogers. Schwecke getting positioning, going back up strong, arms all over her. Vikings already out rebounding the Nunucks 5-1 with 3 offensive rebounds in the first 2 minutes and 53 seconds of play.
Emma Duff hit with the foul for the Vikings, sending the Nunucks to the line. But Coach Dolfo had something to say to the officials, and they're now discussing what exactly is going on.
Looks like teams are going to go back to their bench here. The referees are in discussions. Looks like they're going to go to the replay monitor. I'm not entirely sure what they're actually reviewing here. However, usually when a referee goes to the monitor in this kind of situation, they're looking at if it was a potential flagrant foul or potential kind of intentional foul. Both of those result in harsher penalties in terms of what kind of free throws the team gets awarded. Referees here at the monitor looking at most likely the possibility of a flagrant foul. However, already off the monitor, Foul is going to be on number 32, Molly Olson. Doesn't look like anything extra on it. No intentional, no flagrant 1, no flagrant 2. Just a common foul. I believe they're actually looking at who the foul was committed by. It was initially called on Emma Duff. It was reassigned here to Molly Olson. Looks like Coach Dolfo wanted to make sure one of her starters didn't pick up an early foul there. Molly Olson now back on the bench for the Vikings.
First points on the board for the Nanooks. It's 7-2 Vikings. 7:05 to play, first quarter. Lexi Bland, right-hand dribble. Emma Duff driving the right side of the lane, taking it strong off the glass. It's 9-2 Vikings.
Emma Duff drives the ball so well. Such a good shooter from the outside. But with 20 points on Thursday against the Seawolves, she drives to the basket so well, making it difficult to contain her.
Schwecke on defense for the Vikings. Going baseline and stepping on the baseline is Kraska. That'll be a turnover. Viking basketball, 6:29 left. First quarter here in Bellingham, Washington.
Great defense by Schwecke there on that last possession. Getting big, getting her hands straight up, making sure not to foul, and forcing the turnover.
Katrina Jamaica in the game for the Vikings. The jumper from 14, nothing but net, 11-2. Western Washington.
How about that from Jamaica, stopping on a dime. Her defender went flying. She planted that pivot foot and just stopped right in her tracks. Easy mid-range jumper for Jamaica.
6 minutes left, first quarter. Ball loose on the floor. Schwecke grabs it ahead to Bland. The bounce pass to Dykstra, racing the floor. It is 13-2 Vikings and a foul on the floor.
And look at that from Lexi Bland, again, pushing the tempo of this Western offense. You see here on a replay, that's about to come up. Lexi Bland pushing it, finding Avery Dykstra. Dykstra with the foul, or with the bucket through the contact. Good focus by the sophomore from Linden, Washington.
She misses the free throw. Still 13-2 Vikings. 5:45 to play, first quarter. The Nanooks, losers of 8 in a row. Long three on the way, not good rotation off the side of the iron. Jamaica the rebound. Ahead to Dykstra. Dykstra picks up the dribble. Out to Jamaica for three. 16-2, Western Washington.
Man, when these Vikings are hitting their three-point shots, they are hard to stop. They're pretty low in the GNAC in three-pointers rate made. They're 9th in the GNAC in three-pointers made. However, they're 1st in the GNAC in field goal percentage. What that means, they shoot a lot of points in the paint and a lot of points from the mid-range. So when they get that three-pointer working, oh man, does it benefit this offense.
Nice move on the block by the Nanooks. That's Kraska, but she misses the lay-in. Back comes Duff and the Vikings. Looking down low for Schwecke, and a foul is called away from the basketball. Anna was fouled. Foul committed by Olivia Kraska. Second personal on Kraska. Timeout on the floor. 4 minutes, 52 seconds left, first quarter. All Vikings, 16-2 from Bellingham.
Campus to Campus is a beautiful reciprocal relationship that's really centered on how to support young students to see themselves in a different kind of way and see the possibilities for their future.
Allie was one of our first mentors. A lot of people have believed in me along the way, Allie being one of them. She's always inspired me. Now I'm at Western, actually going to college.
It's changing lives for the young students that we work with, and it's changing lives for the mentors who work with them.
Back here in Bellingham, Washington. Sean Wally alongside Ben Bagley, 4:52 remaining first quarter. After the timeout, Schwecke to the line, hits the first free throw.
Vikings already shooting 6 of 10 in this one, 2 of 2 from the three-point line, out-rebounding the Nanooks 7-2. They've already forced 5 turnovers, complete domination early for the Vikings. So much for a trap game. They have come out firing on all cylinders, picking up right where they left off, and already on course for an early blowout.
Dykstra comes away with the steal. Castaneda in the game for the Vikings. Down low to Jamaica, under the basket, doesn't get the reverse. Back comes Alaska Fairbanks, 4:20 and counting, first quarter. And a foul on the floor as Dykstra gets trampled on, and she is called for the foul.
Avery Dykstra leads this team in steals. As we see the foul right here, Dykstra getting aggressive, trying to get that ball. Doesn't quite grab it. The foul will be called on her. 25 steals for Dykstra on the year. So good at getting in the passing lanes and poking that ball out. And she gets a block right there, and the Vikings are in transition.
Dykstra the swat. Back come the Vikings. Ball tipped and stolen away. The Nanooks the other direction, but they do not have numbers.
Look at how aggressively Western is playing defense. Tight man-to-man defense. Dykstra playing defense at the half court.
Sam Tolliver misses the three. Tolliver, a local product out of Garfield High School in Seattle. 18-2 Vikings, down low to Schwecke. She goes outside to Molly Olson. Olson looking for Schwecke, who lays it up and in. 20-2 Vikings, 3 minutes, 30 seconds left first quarter.
The Vikings lead the GNAC in assists as a team, and Molly Olson leads the GNAC in assists as an individual. Almost 5 assists per game for the sophomore. And a great pass there to stretch this lead to 18.
The Nanooks just 2 free throws, 0 field goals in this first quarter.
Yeah, it's been a defensive clinic by the Vikings. They've been playing so tight, so aggressive, just getting right in the face of every Nanook player. Also, as we see on the replay right there, Western has been so aggressive and just trying to poke that ball out. Couple fouls for the Vikings early. Trying to get maybe a little bit too aggressive on poking the ball out. Coach Dolfo might want them to lower down the aggression a little bit. However, it's working quite well for them so far.
Nanooks pass too high, stolen by Castaneda. Look at this, 4-on-1 for the Vikings. Castaneda finds Rogers, short on the layup. Ball out of bounds to the Nanooks.
And disappointing finish there for the Vikings. It was a 4v1. Gracie Castaneda dribbled into the only defender back there, meaning that she had to make a somewhat wild pass to Kelsey Rogers, caught off guard a little bit, so she had to put up a lackadaisical layup, ended up missing. Even though they're up so big, Western's still going to want to look to cut out little errors like that, blowing a 4v1 fast break.
Viking basketball, 2:48 and counting first quarter. Look at the drive by Bland, but she can't finish. Kelsey Rogers fighting for the rebound. Jump ball called, and it is Viking possession arrow with 2:43 left first quarter.
When you look back on games like this as a coach, one of the things you're going to be looking at, even no matter what the score is, even if you won by 150 points, whatever, one thing you're going to be looking at is little errors. And so far, the Vikings have missed a number of layups, 2 in a row missed. They're going to want to look to convert more easy shots as we continue.
Lexi Bland, the bucket. It's a 20-point Viking lead already. And a foul is called on Western Washington. That's Conwell who got fouled. That foul will be on Zaragoza, newly into the game for the Vikings.
The Nanooks here still without a field goal in the game. 0 of 6 from the floor. Vikings 8 of 15 from the floor. Some more stats. Vikings out rebounding 11-3. Vikings 5 offensive rebounds. 8 points off of turnovers for the Vikings. 4 steals. It is Western domination, and we're not even through the first quarter yet.
Bland directing traffic for the Vikings. Finds Zaragoza from the free throw line. Driving the right side of the lane. Went baseline instead, kicks it out. Castaneda with it. 8 to shoot for Western Washington. Driving the lane, shot is short. Even with this huge lead, the Vikings have missed some point-blank shots. Nanooks. Down a heavy margin early. Gandera gets the bucket. It's 22-6 Vikings.
Gandera at the bucket there. Gandera is the leading scorer in the GNAC, 17.5 points a game, and the only scorer with over 300 points on the year.
Zaragoza getting the rebound off the miss from Bland. She is fouled on the putback.
I've been so impressed with Carly Zaragoza this season. She hasn't got a ton of time to play, playing behind Anna Schwecke. Look at her here, battling for that rebound, putting it back in. Zaragoza has played in every game this season, hasn't gotten a start, only averaging about 6 minutes a game. That's difficult to get minutes when you're playing behind Anna Schwecke, Kelsey Rogers, and Katrina Jamaica. But the future of the Viking program at the center position looks to be in good hands. I've been so impressed with Zaragoza and how she battles for those rebounds. She's great in the post. And makes 1 of 2 free throws. I was going to say great at the free throw line as well. However, goes 1 of 2 from the stripe.
Minute 22 left in quarter number 1, 23-6, all Vikings. Sam Tolliver, the left-hand runner, not even close off the window. A battle for the basketball, no foul called. Castaneda wins it, ahead to Lexi Bland. Castaneda driving the lane, goes up strong. No foul, shot is missed, but Zaragoza rips it away. What strength. It's 25-6 Vikings.
Great stuff from the freshman. Great awareness, ripping that ball, putting more points on the boards for the Vikings. As we move forward in this season into next, Carly Zaragoza will be a great player for the Vikings.
The Nooks throw it away. Bland on the break finds Kelsey Rogers. She is fouled. And she'll head to the line for 2 shots.
Lexi Bland once again pushing the pace. She might have actually had an opportunity to take the shot there, as we see the pass to Kelsey Rogers got whacked across the side of the head, neck area. She will head to the line. Bland, maybe, if she would have put on the gas a little bit more, she might have been able to beat out the defender and gotten the transition bucket. However, she went for the assist opportunity, and Kelsey Rogers knocks down the first one at the line.
Rogers lets it fly, knocks down the free throw. 27-6. Wow.
Yeah, one of the things that benefits this Viking offense so much is how many turnovers they force. Already in this one, they forced 8 turnovers, and even when they miss shots, they just get so many. 19 shots for the Vikings so far. That was just the 9th shot by the Nanooks. Vikings with 10 more shots than Alaska Fairbanks. Just the sheer volume of points of shots put up usually results in a lot of points for the Vikings.
Alaska Fairbanks, just their 2nd field goal of the quarter. Shot clock is off. Vikings look to hold for the final shot. 7 to shoot. Lexi Bland drives the lane, and an offensive foul is called as she lowered her shoulder.
Lowered her shoulder there. Almost looked like a running back just trying to burst through the hole. However, a little bit too much contact, a bit too aggressive, trying to get to the basket. The Nooks will have the ball with just about 6 seconds here in the first quarter.
Final ticks of the first quarter. Nobody stopping the ball. A heave at the buzzer is short. A furious first quarter for the Western Washington Vikings. They have a huge lead. It's 27-8 over the Nooks after 10 minutes of play. Back after this on Vikings TV.
Quality food brings people together, so we continue to provide the best and freshest food available. Every day, we reach out, finding the best producers right here in our backyard. At Hagen, we partner with passionate local producers, farmers, and fishers to find you the best sustainable, fresh, and organic food. Hagen, Northwest Fresh since 1933.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you.
Back here inside Carver Gym, Sean Wally alongside Ben Bagley. And Ben, we have good news from Lacey, Washington. The Western Washington men's basketball team beat St. Martin's with an early match tonight, 85-78 Vikings.
The Western men's team on Thursday went to Seattle Pacific, the only unbeaten team remaining in the GNAC on the men's side, and fell to them by a score of 74-65. Great job by the men getting back in the win column. That snapped the men's 8-game winning streak. The loss the Falcons did. Back in the win column, both Viking team, men's and women's, near the top of the GNAC.
Nice defense by the Vikings. Thought a travel possibly there by Wallace, but no call. Ball out of bounds to Alaska Fairbanks.
Alaska, that was just their 10th shot of the evening. Vikings made 9 shots. Vikings almost have as many made shots as the Nanooks have attempted shots.
11 to shoot for the Nanooks. Samaya Tolliver to Wallace. 5 to shoot. Driving the baseline. Shot clock violation. Turnover to Western Washington.
More great defense by the Vikings. They do so well of just giving shooters no room to operate. And right when they're right in the grill of the shooter, they put their hands straight up. They don't poke or punch or get any kind of contact. They just play very smart, smothering defense. Shot clock violation is the best showing of that smothering defense.
Lexi Bland inside to who else? Anna Schwecke, the left hand off glass. 29-8. 1 minute just about gone by, second quarter.
Lexi Bland coming off career high 8 assists against the Seawolves. A great pass there to Schwecke.
Samaya Tolliver is fouled.
Take a look at this last bucket by Schwecke. Isn't that move just what she does so well? It's like the 2 steps across the key, the hook shot. We've seen that so many times over the years by Anna Schwecke. She does it so well, better than anybody else in the GNAC, and lets her just dominate the paint against any opponent.
Her and Rogers have patented those one dribble and pivot.
Yes, they have.
Score the bucket.
The one dribble, use both of your courtesy steps, get that hook shot. Anna Schwecke, Kelsey Rogers, 2 of the absolute best in the GNAC.
Dykstra in the lane, outside to Emma Duff. Rims out that 3. Rebounds to the Nanooks. Racing across half court is Ungaro. She picks up her dribble, and Duff knocks it away with her height and length. Duff, look at the switching hand, dribbling, right hand off window. She's bumped, she's fouled. Count it.
Emma Duff, great job there on both ends of the court. Forcing the turnover, going coast to coast herself. The turnover there, just using her height, hustling down the court, splitting 2 defenders through the contact. The circus shot is good. Emma Duff, 16 points and 20 points in her last 2 outings. 5 in this one, and she is on a tear offensively.
32-10 Vikings. Tolliver for 3. It's short. Schwecke the rebound.
Emma Duff pushing it already.
Open for 3, the miss by Madison Coleman. Back come the Nanooks. Tolliver picks up her dribble, finds Ungaro. Wallace in the lane, spins on Duff. Good defense holding her position by Emma.
Great job by Emma Duff, putting her hands straight up in the air to force that miss.
Madison Coleman. Down low to Schwecke. Moving, pivoting on the block. It's 34-10 Vikings.
Schwecki makes herself nearly unstoppable in the post. She's so good at going across the lane, but she's also so good at pretending to go across the lane and then spinning back. Easy job there. Another layup for Schwecki.
And a turnover. Lexi Bland into the lane. She looks for help, finds Emma Duff going baseline, but an offensive foul is called on Anna Schwecki.
Vikings here with a 24-point lead. We're going to get a timeout called by Alaska Fairbanks. Vikings 34, Nanuks 10. 7 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the second period of play.
This simple banana peel represents a bold idea, a way to create energy from household trash. It not only saves about 80% in carbon emissions, it helps reduce landfill waste. That's why BP is partnering with a California company, Fulcrum Bioenergy, to turn garbage into jet fuel, because we can't let any good ideas go to waste. At BP, we see possibilities everywhere to help the world keep advancing. Welcome to Fowler, Indiana, one of the windiest places in America, and home to 3 BP wind farms. In the off chance the wind ever stops blowing here, the lights can keep on shining thanks to our natural gas, a smart partner to renewable energy that's always ready when needed, or not. At BP, we see possibilities everywhere to help the world keep advancing.
Let's look at the defense here by the Vikings. Avery Dykstra, 7th in the GNAC in steals. Gracie Castaneda getting some as well. The Vikings, even though they're up 24, still playing a full court man-to-man press defense. Whole lot of aggression, and it works very well for Carmen Dolfo's squad.
Tolliver racing into the lane, misses the layup. Back come the Vikings. Castaneda finds Fierke. Swing it to Jamaica. Jamaica spins, picks up her dribble. Fierke has it. Now Gracie in the lane. Jamaica wide open for 3. Off iron, rebound to the Nanuks. Ungaro hands off to Conwell. Conwell throws it back to Ungaro, cross court. Sam Tolliver, the NBA 3. Nothing but WECU court on that one. 34-10, Vikings take over.
As we get a quick break here in the action, a big congratulations to Anna Schwecki, who's on the bench right now. However, she just scored her 1,000th career point as a Viking. 1,002 career points for her now. Big congratulations to big number 44.
Jamaica from the left side of the lane. Overshoots the rim. .605 left, second quarter. The long, high-arcing 3 is good for the Nanuks. That's Kruppa with the triple.
That's actually the one thing in the Nanuks offense that goes really well. They are 3rd in the GNAC in 3-point percentage. If one thing works for them in this game to get them back in it, it's going to be the 3-ball.
Jamaica loses the handle, goes right to Rogers. Castaneda switching between right and left hand. Now drives the right side of the lane, bumped, no whistle, but the bucket is good. 36-13 Vikings.
Gracie Castaneda fighting through contact. That bumped her way off her line. However, nice job finishing with that right hand. Vikings now, points in the paint, 22 to the Nanuks 2.
Fierke fought through the screen and is called for the foul. Head coach Carmen Dolfo wanting an explanation from the referee on that one. And she's explaining that to Monique right now.
A lot of the Viking fouls this whole season have just been attributed to very, very tight defense. Fierke right with the girl she is guarding, barreled through that last screen attempt. You'll see that from Vikings all night.
Conwell, the scoop shot as the shot clock was winding down. Rebound right to Rogers. Ahead they go to Fierke. Baseline. Fierke is hammered. Wow. She hits WECU court hard. That will not feel well.
Good job from Fierke. She's up. She shook it off. Big hit took her right onto the court. Western.
Officials discussing whether that will be a flagrant.
Western, a lot of their drives, a lot of their offense possessions lead them right to the basket, though, for a lot of free throw attempts. They finish through contact in a lot of their free throws. Fierke there putting her body in harm's way. That's honestly one of the staples of this Western offense is the drive, the layup, usually heavily contested. Vikings, a 23-point lead as the referees look to see if there was anything extra on that foul as Monique Fierke went crashing to WECU court. As we get a quick break in the action here, Vikings are up 23, but surprisingly, they could be doing a lot better, shooting under 50%, 13 of 27, and shooting just 33% from the three-point line, 2 of 6. So while, of course, they're playing great defense, forcing a lot of turnovers, dominating the rebound battle, there are still a lot of points of emphasis Coach Dolfo could be making here to even grow this lead even more. They've missed a number of lay-ins. It almost comes down to just the fundamentals, putting the ball in the basket. Even with such a big lead, there's always room for improvement. And in this one, it's just shooting the ball a little bit better. Some more stats. Vikings shooting 48% from the floor. The Nooks shooting just 17.6%. Vikings with 19 rebounds to Alaska Fairbanks 11. 7 offensive rebounds for the Vikings. They have forced 11 turnovers, turned it over just 4 times themselves. 22 points in the paint, 10 second chance points, and 3 blocks. Referees still looking to see if there was a flagrant foul committed against Monique Fierke.
A nice turnout by the Western Washington faithful here this evening on this Saturday night. As the Vikings have answered the bell. No letdown in their play this evening.
Not at all. Against Alaska Anchorage on Thursday. Again, that was the win versus the number 4 team in the nation. They forced 22 turnovers against the Seawolves. Vikings had 10 steals. They had 10 blocks. That was the Vikings' first win versus a top 5 nationally ranked team since they knocked off University of Alaska Anchorage back in 2015. Let's take a look at the foul committed against Monique Fierke, going up and just getting bodied as she went into the air, hitting the court hard. Looked like she was rattled for a second, but she perked right back up. She's still standing there on the court in the huddle with Coach Dolfo and her teammates. No injury signs for Fierke.
Just been told by one of the officials that they are calling an intentional foul on Alana Conwell.
Any player from the Vikings can attempt this free throw. Does not have to be Fierke. And after this free throw, the Vikings will get the ball.
Very impressive of our official to keep us abreast of the situation so we can pass that along. 4:52 remaining second quarter, 36-13. All Vikings in this first half. Sean Wally alongside Ben Bagley. After Ben was on vacation Thursday night in Seattle.
I had the opportunity to cover the men's game against Seattle Pacific for the Western Front, which is the on-campus newspaper here for students at Western. But as we mentioned earlier, Western men unfortunately dropped that game. However, it was a great learning experience in my journalistic career. The reporters for the Western Front this season have actually had a pretty lucky time. Both the men's and women's team have been great, so the Front hasn't had to cover very many losses, which has been pretty easy on the reporters.
Back to action. Kelsey Rogers missed the turnaround. Back comes Tolliver. Vikings back the other way after the Nanook miss. 4:20 remaining second quarter. Castaneda down low to Jamaica. She turns and can't get the roll. Ungaro across half court for Alaska Fairbanks. Tolliver with it now. Lots of screens being set by the Nanooks. Tolliver in the lane, shot way too strong. Ball loose. Fierke has it. Hands to Castaneda. Coleman with it now. Jamaica, the jumper is good. It's 40-13 Vikings.
The group of forwards for the Vikings that play the most amount of minutes, Jamaica, Rogers, and Anna Schwecke, they're essentially just a three-headed monster. They can all shoot so well, and they all shoot well right under the basket, and especially Jamaica and Kelsey Rogers spread the ball out so well. Makes it so tough to cover all three of them, and then on top of that, the great shooters in Castaneda and Emma Duff. Vikings offense firing on all cylinders so far. 40-13 lead.
Well, Ben, the positives of this big lead, and we've already seen it a little bit here in this first half, but definitely a chance in the second half for some of the younger players on this Viking squad to get more time, like the freshman Zaragoza, who's in now. Coleman is a first-year Viking. She's out there on the floor, so we could see more of that in the second half. Anna Schwecke in the lane, spins, bucket good. She's fouled. She'll head to the line for the potential three-point play.
Anna Schwecke has the opportunity to make this early lead 30 points. We just saw in the replay there, finishing through contact. Again, what else is new with the superstar center? Anna Schwecke in this one.
Already has 14 points on the night, missed the shot. But Zaragoza cleans up the glass and lays it up and in. It's 44-13, my goodness. Gandera going baseline, pushes off on Fierke. The jumper, step back. It's 44-15, Western Washington.
Pretty impressive move there offensively by Gandera. Could have been called maybe a little bit of a push-off, but a nice step back, drills the baseline shot. She is the leading scorer in the GNAC for a reason.
Coleman looking for Schwecke, throws it away. Back come the Nanooks. Three in front of the Viking bench is missed by Conwell. Here come the Vikings. Castaneda working on Tolliver. Castaneda off the screen, drives the right side of the lane. The scoop shot is good. She's fouled and will head to the line.
Once again, as we just saw Fierke get knocked to the ground in a layup attempt, we see Castaneda here getting the roll just barely in her layup attempt as she got fouled as well. These Vikings in practice, let's start this over. In practice, these Vikings must practice finishing through contact. We've seen so many times tonight getting to the lane and finishing through a defender.
Brittany Richards returns for UAF. Gandara stops, pops, good. She's hit two in a row. 47-17, a 30-point lead for the Vikings.
30-point lead for the Vikings. That just about says it. They've been doing everything well. And role players like Carly Zaragoza, it hasn't just been one player doing things. Up and down the roster, Viking domination.
The jumper is fallen for Jocelyn Gandera. It's 49-19 Vikings. Final 90 seconds of quarter number 2.
Jocelyn Gandera has double-digit points in 16 of her 18 games this season, as well as 20-plus points in 7 games. Her season high is 34 points against Concordia.
Emma Duff going baseline. No foul there. Apparently good defense. Outside to Fierke, the triple. Rims off. Battle for the basketball. It's loose on WECU court. A tie-up. Jump ball, possession arrow to the home team, the Vikings. Fierke to the bench for Western Washington. Every Dykstra returns. 1:06 left to play, second quarter. Not sure exactly what the officials are talking about. Sean Wally alongside Ben Bagley here on Vikings TV and GNAC.TV. Thank you for tuning in on this Saturday night. All Vikings in this GNAC battle. Castaneda, the right-hand dribble, finds Anna Schwecke. Dykstra with it now. To the freshman Zaragoza, down low to Schwecke, too strong, but there's Zaragoza the rebound. That putback is too strong. Zaragoza battles for the rebound, and she gets that shot to fall. 51-19 Vikings.
How about Carly Zaragoza? 9 points for her now, 5 rebounds. I'll say it once and I'll say it again. The future of the center position for the Vikings is in great hands with Carly Zaragoza.
An air ball on the other end for the Nanooks. About 2.5 seconds between the shot and game clock. Dykstra into the lane. Finds Zaragoza, who now finds Castaneda going baseline. Cross court to a wide open Emma Duff. The three rims out. Final 5 seconds, ball out of bounds to UAF.
Vikings in this one have 12 offensive rebounds, and they are out-rebounding the Nanooks by 15.
2 seconds left. The long heave by Gandera is off left side of the iron after 20 minutes of play. Western Washington 51, Alaska Fairbanks 19. It's halftime in Bellingham. Back with the second half after this on Vikings TV.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
Welcome to our busy world, where we all want more energy, but with less carbon footprint. That's why at BP, we're working to make energy that's cleaner and better. We're producing cleaner burning natural gas and solar and wind power. And wherever your day takes you, we have advanced fuels for a better commute. And we're developing ultra-fast charging technology for EVs. At BP, we see possibilities everywhere, so we can all keep advancing.
Compass to Campus is a beautiful reciprocal relationship that's really centered on how to support young students to see themselves in a different kind of way and see the possibilities for their future.
Allie was one of our first mentors. A lot of people have believed in me along the way, Allie being one of them. She's always inspired me. Now I'm at Western actually going to college.
It's changing lives for the young students that we work with, and it's changing lives for the mentors who work with them.
Quality food brings people together, so we continue to provide the best and freshest food available. Every day, we reach out, finding the best producers right here in our backyard. At Hagen, we partner with passionate local producers, farmers, and fishers to find you the best sustainable, fresh, and organic food. Hagen, Northwest Fresh since 1933.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
This simple banana peel represents a bold idea, a way to create energy from household trash. It not only saves about 80% in carbon emissions, it helps reduce landfill waste. That's why BP is partnering with the California company Fulcrum Bioenergy to turn garbage into jet fuel, because we can't let any good ideas go to waste. At BP, we see possibilities everywhere to help the world keep advancing.
Back here in Bellingham, Washington, inside Carver Gym, Sean Wally and Ben Bagley with you on Vikings TV as we get set for second half action. Your eyes are not deceiving you. Vikings lead 51-19.
Vikings coming off of back-to-back wins against top teams in the GNAC. Last Saturday against Northwest Nazarene, and just this past Thursday against number 4 ranked Alaska Anchorage. Win, and now playing the last team in the GNAC, the 1-8 in GNAC, playing Nanooks. Vikings up 51-19. A quick look at the stats here. Vikings shooting 47% compared to Alaska Anchorage's 23%. A look there at the bottom. Vikings have forced 12 turnovers, turned it over just 5 times themselves, and Vikings dominating the rebound battle 30-14. Some points leaders for the Vikings. Anna Schwecke with 14 points. Carly Zaragoza with 9. 9 different players have scored for the Vikings. Their defense has been smothering. And for the best rebounding team in the GNAC, all 11 players who have entered the game have nabbed a rebound. Take a look here at just the smothering defense by the Vikings. Whole lot of blocks, whole lot of steals, making it difficult for the Nanooks. Quick look here at Carly Zaragoza, the freshman center. 9 points and 5 rebounds for her in the first half. Those are both career highs in her young career. Headed into the second half here, Vikings will look to keep the pressure on. They are currently on pace for their most points scored all season long.
51, definitely a high scoring output for a half. 51-19 Vikings as we get set for third quarter action in just a couple of seconds.
Vikings are shooting 19 of 40 from the floor. That's compared to Alaska Fairbanks, 6 of 26. Western has done a great job of creating shots of their own, limiting shots of their opponents, and of course, forcing a whole lot of turnovers to get that many more extra possessions. 32-point lead at the beginning of the second half. Here we go.
The Nanooks begin with the basketball. Interesting to note, we noticed coming out for the start of the third quarter, they didn't come out of the locker room until about 2 minutes left on the halftime clock.
I would imagine a whole lot of corrections trying to be made by head coach Kerry Nakamoto.
Foul on the floor on Kylie Wallace of the Nanooks.
For the Nanooks, facing a steep uphill battle here in the second half. Vikings are unbeaten at home against the Nanooks, 25-0 in Bellingham all time.
What a move in the lane by Lexi Bland. It's 53-19 Vikings. Sam Tolliver out of Seattle, Washington. Hands off to Ungaro, top of the key, right-hand dribble. Gandaro with it now.
Driving the right side of the lane, she is bumped and fouled. And Jocelyn will head to the line.
Molly Olson did her best job there to keep her hands straight up. However, contact with her chest is what called the foul. A lot of times in that situation, you see the defender with their arms straight up. They move their arms down into the zone of whoever's trying to shoot the ball. And that action of bringing the arms down is what is called a shooting foul. Molly Olson and this entire Vikings team does a really, really strong job of keeping their arms straight up to avoid those kinds of fouls. However, in that last one, there's an extra bump by Olson, which led to the free throw opportunity.
53-21 after the free throws. 9-10 remaining third quarter. Olson for the Vikings in front of her own bench. Offensive foul called on Anna Schwecke.
Anna Schwecke trying to battle for her position in the post. They called an offensive foul. She tried to perform a swim move to get around her defender, and that extra contact created an offensive turnover.
Good defense by Molly Olson in the backcourt. You could see her anticipate where the ball handler was going to go. Nice quick drive in the lane by Jocelyn Gandera. It's 53-23 Vikings.
Jocelyn Gandera, certainly the bright spot on this Nanooks team. 10 points for her for the leading scorer in the GNAC.
Rogers, the up and under. Can't get the shot to go, but a late whistle, and she was fouled.
Nice job using the pivot foot there by Kelsey Rogers. Let's take a look here at the last bucket by Gandara. Nice job picking the ball up. The 2 steps to the lane. 10 points for her, the only Alaska Fairbanks scorer in double digits.
Could have used a lot of that in the first half.
Could have used a lot of that in the first half. We'll certainly be looking for a lot of that here in the second half.
Rogers sinks the free throws. It's 55-23 Vikings.
Alaska Fairbanks, they were 5-4 before GNAC play started. They won their first GNAC game, and then all of a sudden, losing 8 straight and staring at their 9th straight loss, potentially, up here in Bellingham.
Wallace, the jumper is short. Ball out of bounds to Alaska Fairbanks.
Alaska Fairbanks last in the GNAC in scoring defense. Western Washington third in the GNAC in scoring offense. It's a bad combination, bad defense versus good offense, or a good combination depending what side you're looking at it from. That's exactly what we've seen so far.
Wallace in the lane. Shot won't go. Emma Duff across half court for the Vikings. Lexi Bland, right-hand dribble. Nobody stops her. She lays it up and in. It's 57-23 Western Washington.
Lexi Bland has been phenomenal this season at getting to the lane. She's like a bowling ball going in there as she makes her layup there, and Vikings already back in transition.
Ball swatted by Schwecke. Bland has it now. Wide open is Duff in front of her own bench for 3. The rim made it nice and easy. 60-23 Vikings.
I'm not sure she was expecting a ball to go off the backboard from a corner 3. However, got the lucky bounce. And Emma Duff has now made a 3 in her last 6 games and 11 of her last 12.
Kelsey Rogers from point blank. It won't go. She gets her own rebound. Lexi Bland, the triple. A 40-point Western Washington lead. Wow.
40-point lead, and don't expect the Vikings to let up at all. Off to the races here in the second half. Great corrections by head coach Carmen Dolfo, and just a much better shooting performance so far here in the second half.
Wallace throws it away. Turnover to the Vikings.
In the third quarter already, Vikings shooting 4 of 5. Nice bucket there by Kelsey Rogers. Vikings 4 of 5 from the floor, 5 of 6 from the floor, 2 of 2 from the three-point line.
Back to action. Bland drives the baseline. Foul is called.
Vikings already winning the rebounding battle again in the second half. 5 rebounds to 1 overall. Out-rebounding the Nanooks by 20. 21 now. 36 rebounds compared to 15.
The size of Schwecke, Rogers, and Zaragoza dominating here tonight for the Vikings. 6:20 remaining third quarter in Bellingham. Nanooks looking for anything positive. 3 out of the corner is short. Getting the rebound is Wallace. She'll lay it up and in. 65-25 Vikings. Kelsey Rogers. 2 dribbles. Outside Emma Duff. Wide open for 3. Rims off. Gandara across half court. She finds Wallace. Wallace in the lane. Jumper's good. 65-27 Vikings. As 5 Vikings get set to check in. Just like a hockey line change. But we have a timeout on the floor. 5:36 remaining third quarter. All Vikings 65-27 here on Vikings TV.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Notify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
A look at the crowd and part of the band here inside Carver Gym. All smiles for Vikings fans. Sean Wally alongside Ben Bagley. Thanks for tuning in on this Saturday night. 65-27. Western Washington dominating.
Checking back into the game here is Carly Zaragoza, the freshman center from Union Mine High School in El Dorado, California. Already a career high in points in this one, 9 points, and career high in rebounds with 5. In high school, she averaged 19 points and 12 rebounds a game. The freshman with a career day here against the Alaska Fairbanks Nanooks.
Coleman with it for the Vikings. Into the lane, what a move, but she cannot finish. Rebounds to Kruppa. Back come the Nanooks. Gandara, left-hand dribble. The layup is good, 65-29 Vikings.
Gandara, nice layup there, and a little bit of a defensive miscommunication by the Vikings. The lane was cluttered, and all of a sudden it wasn't. She got to the line with ease. 12 points for number 14 for the Nanooks.
Coleman the miss. Back comes Alaska Fairbanks. Outside to Gandara. Left-hand dribble. Good defense by Avery Dykstra. The step back. Dykstra thought she got the block, but the official does not agree.
Yeah, Avery Dykstra can't believe that one. There must have been some hand-to-wrist contact there. Avery Dykstra thought that she got that ball cleanly. As the timeout taken here by Carmen Dolfo and the Vikings with 4 minutes and 33 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Back after the timeout. Jocelyn Gandera to the line for the Nanooks. Sean Wally alongside Ben Bagley here on Vikings TV. 65-30 now after the made free throw.
Jocelyn Gandara once again leading the GNAC in scoring, about 17.5 points per game, also 8th in the GNAC in rebounding with 6.6 rebounds a game. She's the only player in the GNAC with over 300 points on the season.
Madison Coleman in front of her own bench. Finds Zaragoza in the paint. Jump ball called. Possession arrow to the Vikings.
Good strength there by Zaragoza. She had 2 defenders draped all over her. Good job holding on to the ball. And a jump ball keeps the ball with the Vikings.
Foul called on the Nanooks. Samantha Sockerman hit with the foul.
Nanooks in a little bit of foul trouble. 2 players with 3 fouls, 2 players with 2 fouls.
Good move baseline by Jamaica. Layup is good, 67-30 Vikings. Wallace, right side of the lane for Alaska Fairbanks, hits WECU court. Nice shot off window, 67-32 Vikings.
Nice shot there, falling away. She was nearly perpendicular to the, or parallel to the ground when she took that shot. Nice job using the backboard, knocking it down.
Jamaica has it knocked away. Avery Dykstra has the ball knocked out of bounds. Be Viking basketball. As Samaya Tolliver checks back in for the Nanooks. Sabrina Ungaro to the bench. Dykstra into Jamaica. Jamaica spins in the lane. She is fouled and will head to the line.
There's a trio of Vikings that are sophomores that have been just taken such a great leap forward in this year. That's Katrina Jamaica, Avery Dykstra, Molly Olson, and the fourth of that group would be Monique Fierke. Dykstra, so great at defense, getting steals, 7th in the GNAC in steals. Molly Olson, such a great passer, 1st in the GNAC in assists. And Katrina Jamaica, just another part of the 3-headed forward monster of the Vikings, along with Kelsey Rogers and Anna Schwecke. If she's your third option to score the basketball, you have a pretty good offense. Katrina Jamaica, offensively, a lot of potential, and already one of the best on the team.
Tolliver loses the basketball, but a foul is called. That foul will be on Madison Coleman. Castaneda returns for the Vikings. Katrina Jamaica to the bench. Gandara with it for the Nanooks. She finds Tolliver. Right back to Gandara. Going baseline. Foul called. Bucket is good.
And it might be far-fetched to believe that Alaska Fairbanks could mount a comeback. They'd have to double their current points in order to match the Vikings. But look at Gandara. She's on a personal mission. 15 points, 7 of 10 shooting. Great showing by the transfer from Lassen Community College and El Paso, Texas.
That last foul was on Zaragoza, who has the basketball now for the Vikings. Outside to Coleman. Coleman in the lane to the rack. Too strong. Zaragoza fights for the rebounds. Putback is good. 70-34 Vikings.
Great job by Zaragoza there, eating up that offensive board. 15 offensive rebounds now for the Vikings in the game. However, a lot of those offensive rebounds have come off of missed layups. Certainly in a more competitive game, those missed layups could play a bigger factor in deciding the final result. moving forward, that will definitely be a point of emphasis for this Viking squad.
Alana Conwell, the bucket from point blank for Alaska Fairbanks. Back the other way. It's Castaneda in the lane. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll be Viking basketball. Jamaica, just a quick water break. She's back in the game as Coleman takes a seat.
Nice young group out there for the Vikings. 3 sophomores, freshman Zaragoza, and the junior Gracie Castaneda.
Zaragoza mishandling the basketball, now fighting for it. Jump ball called, this time possession arrow to the Nanooks.
That's the second jump ball we've seen as a result of Zaragoza having 2 or 3 defenders on her. There were 3 on her that time, and once again, nice strength, not letting them poke the ball out, holding on to it. And of course, when 2 players have possession of the basketball, 2 players of different teams have possession of the basketball at the same time, it is a jump ball. If you're unfamiliar with the rule, whoever had possession last gets the next jump ball, and it flips every time there's a jump ball called.
Final 2 minutes of this third quarter here in Bellingham, Washington. Tolliver, the floater. She hit a lot of those at Garfield High School in Seattle, but not this time. Vikings, Fierke ahead to Jamaica, dribbles it out of bounds. Nanook basketball. Interesting. A pseudo full court press applied by the Vikings when they're up 34 points.
Well, when you're up 34 points, what better time is there to practice your full court press?
And there is some of that defense. UAF turning it over. Vikings to inbound.
4 players now in double-digit scoring for the Vikings, led by Anna Schwecke, 16, followed Lexi Bland's 12. Christina Jamaica has 10. Carly Zaragoza with 11.
There is Zaragoza, the jumper from the elbow. Carly must have had her Wheaties.
She must have. And the underrated part of that shot, right after she shot the ball, she crashed her own offensive glass. If she would have missed that shot, she was right there in position to get the rebound. That's something you love to see from a freshman, something that you can't really teach, just got to have the nose for the basketball.
A little too aggressive on defense is Zaragoza. That is her 3rd foul to go along with her 13 points.
Let's look at the bucket here by Zaragoza, and look, right after she shoots the ball, runs in there. Doesn't have to grab a board because she knocked it down. 13 points and 7 rebounds for the freshman.
Let's get 3 more. Let's get the double-double.
That would be great. Her first double-double of her career. She's already hit career highs in points and rebounds. Career high, also her season high. I'm sure with such a big lead, she will get plenty of playing time here in the 4th quarter. She only averages about 6 minutes a game. This one she already has 11, and it's such a big lead. What a great time to play all your sophomores, your freshmen, your transfers. Let everybody get a piece of the action in the blowout.
Castaneda aggressively in the lane. Sam Tolliver fouls her from behind. She'll go to the line for 2 shots. Will Gracie Castaneda.
I think that's my favorite trait about Gracie Castaneda is just how fearless she is. Driving to the basket here, through 2 bodies and some contact, threw the ball up. Couldn't quite convert. There's one time last year that I went to the Student Rec Center here on campus. Gracie Castaneda was in the gym playing some pickup basketball, playing with only boys. She was the only girl on the court, and let me tell you, she was taking it to them. Absolutely fearless basketball player, making all the boys in that gym look silly, showing just how great of an athlete she is.
Did you tell her you got next?
I was too afraid.
I figured. Somehow I knew that was going to be the answer. Wild shot by Gandara. Back come the Vikings. About a 2.5-second differential game and shot clock. Castaneda using the clock. Monique Fierke now. Dykstra to Castaneda. Back to Fierke. 6 to shoot for the Vikings. Dykstra cross court to Fierke. She loses it out of bounds. Exactly 5 seconds left for the Nanooks.
Nicely set up play there I'm sure it was drawn up by Carmen Dolfo. However, lost the handle. No shot resulted.
Tolliver with one. The heave with her left hands wide of the basket. 10 minutes left here in Bellingham. All Vikings, 74-37 on Vikings TV.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
There's a happy fan in Bellingham. He had 10 seconds to try to knock down half-court shot. He took what, about 4 and nailed not 1 but 2 in a row.
Great for him. Maybe he can try and walk on here for the Vikings. Do they need a half-court specialist, the men's team, do you think?
Some of us could. Final 10 minutes here in Bellingham in this GNAC battle. Look at the starters back on the floor for the Vikings.
Vikings are on pace here for their season high in points. Their season high right now is 94. That was last Saturday against Northwest Nazarene. On pace for 99 points here in Carver.
76-37 Western Washington. Ungaro thought about the 3. Instead, ball movement by the Nanooks, 7 to shoot. Foul is called as Jocelyn Gandera hits WECU court. Discussion as who the foul will be on, and they assess it to Lexi Bland.
As we mentioned, Vikings on pace for 99 points. Just from a coolness factor, it'd be nice to see that triple-digit 100. If you're curious, the most points a Western women's basketball team has ever scored in one game was 126 points back in 1987.
How old were you then?
I wasn't born yet, Sean. How old were you?
I was alive and kicking, that is for sure.
I was about -12 in 1987. Looks like a bucket there is going to be waved off. Waved back on by the referee. I think they were looking at possible offensive foul.
Jocelyn Gandara credited with the bucket. But now each team heading to their bench as officials will most likely go to the replay video monitor.
I believe the officials in this scenario are looking to see whether it was a 2 or 3-pointer. They called it a 2 on the floor to give Gandara 17 points. If they change it to a 3, it would up it to 18 points.
There is Victor E. Viking. All smiles here tonight with this 76-39 lead.
If we're curious about some of those more team records, the least points the Vikings ever scored was just 30 points back in 1977, which is...
I was not alive then.
Oh, good job. Their most points they've ever had scored against them was 100. Their biggest winning margin ever was 74 points back in 1984. Their biggest losing margin ever was 50 points back in 1982. Maybe won't hit any team records in this one, but still, 36-point lead and a dominating showing by the 4th place in the GNAC Vikings.
And they did just change that bucket to a 3. Not sure how they missed that initially as she was behind the white line. 76-40 after the correction. Lexi Bland off the screen. Kelsey Rogers gets just meleeed into WECU court. And a foul called on Sabrina Ungaro.
Not often do you see a player who's 5'2" in Sabrina Ungaro knock a player who's 6'1".
I was going to say,
Kelsey Rogers.
Wow. Ungaro not happy with that. You have to wonder if that was a little bit of Lexi Bland saying, you don't do that to any of my players.
Maybe. With the 36-point lead here, I would advise. I believe both coaches would advise their players to lay off anything extra like that. See the foul here. Lexi Bland putting her body into Ungaro, maybe a little bit more intentional than we initially thought.
They need ice skates.
They
They
do.
look like a hockey check. Tolliver, the miss. Rebound to Duff, and a foul. A little bit of frustration on the Nanooks as their season is not going well. Losers of 8 straight. They're staring at 9 in the face.
And a quick segue here, you just mentioned looked like they were on ice skates. The Western men's hockey team, which is a club team here at Western, they're headed to the playoffs for their first time in school history in the Pac-8. So congratulations to Western men's hockey.
Bucket good, but it will not count. Anna Schwecke called for an offensive foul as more bodies flying all over WECU court.
And once again, Ungaro in there. She may be the shortest person out on the court, but she's certainly getting her money's worth in this game. Kelsey Rogers, that will not count. I believe she was too close to the line in her defensive attempt. Nanooks with the ball once again.
Ungaro, right-hand dribble. And Molly Olson, the swat. Great defense.
Ungaro hits the court again. She tried to fade away. However, Molly Olson getting up, getting the block. Great awareness to not foul there by Olson. Ungaro now, it's twice. Her size has worked against her on the block there and earlier in the first half. She tried to pass the ball over Emma Duff, and Duff just took it right from her.
Get Olson the great pass to the cutting Emma Duff. And you see where the basketball is. Stuck between the rim and the glass.
That's what we used to call a wedgie.
Molly Olson skies to knock it out.
Nice hops.
Wonder how that looks from basket cam. Mike Neubauer is checking that out right now in mission control. High above WECU court in the penthouse.
The TV magicians that make everything happen.
Free throws missed. It's 76-40. Tolliver back the other way for UAF to Ungaro. Molly Olson on her. Just swatted her last shot attempt. Wallace in the lane. Her scoop shot won't go. Ball knocked out of bounds. It will be Alaska Fairbanks basketball.
Quick look in at the stats in the game once again. Vikings shooting 49% from the floor. Nanooks shooting 30%. Vikings with 44 rebounds. Alaska with just 25. The Vikings also have 16 offensive rebounds. 14 turnovers for Alaska, 10 for the Vikings. And overall, a lot more shots made by Western than Alaska Fairbanks.
Not sure why the Nanooks are having their shortest player inbound the basketball. Doesn't seem like the smartest move.
Well, she got it in regardless.
She did. Gandera, top of the key, 10 to shoot for the Nanooks. She drives the right side of the lane, off window and off iron. Duff with it for the Vikings. To Molly Olson. Olson down low to Rogers. Castaneda for 3. Off iron, rebound to the Nanooks. That's Brittany Richards all the way from New Zealand. Gandaro going baseline. Cross court. Now it's Ungaro for three. Long rebounds. Molly Olsen has it.
Alaska Fairbanks in the game, shooting just 2 of 14 from three-point land.
Can't let Anna Schwecke get that close to the hoop. She lays it up and in, 78-40 Vikings.
18 points now for Anna Schwecke. She had 2 points in the last game against Alaska Anchorage, but 29 in last Saturday's victory against Northwest Nazarene.
3 out of the corner, missed by the Nanooks. Carmen Dolfo wants to talk things over with the Western Washington Vikings. She calls a timeout. 6:12 left in this one. 78-40 Vikings on Vikings TV.
It's important that what I do as a job is something that I find meaningful. I ended up applying to the cybersecurity program at Western. The aspects of the program that really stand out to me is the hands-on experience.
Being able to work interdisciplinary and bring cybersecurity to marine science, bring it to communications, bring it to everything, is what really makes it interesting.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
Back here in Bellingham, Washington, Sean Wally alongside Ben Bagley. The final 6:12 of this one. Avery Dykstra set to inbounds. Directly in front of us, courtside. And a foul called already. Dykstra didn't even have time to get the ball in. Now the inbounds will move to the baseline.
Two players in foul trouble for the Nanooks, Ungaro and Wallace, each with 4 fouls apiece.
Castaneda down low to Zaragoza. Zaragoza. We have an offensive foul called. Quite a late call there.
Quite a late call. Almost one of those situations where there was so much contact, a foul, it almost necessitated a foul to be called, but neither player was really at fault there. So the referee decided to call it on Carlos Zaragoza. However, 50-50 play. I'd have a short memory if I was Zaragoza on that one.
Dykstra racing up the floor, lays it up and in. 80-40, a 40-point lead. Ball knocked away. Vikings come away with it, and a foul is called on Sabrina Ungaro.
That is Ungaro's 5th foul of the game. The redshirt senior will watch the rest of this game from the bench. Gracie Castaneda at the line for the Vikings. She knocks down the first one. Vikings as a team shoot just about 69% from the free throw line. As Castaneda knocks in both.
(82-40), all Vikings, 5:20 remaining. Tolliver, top of the key, picks up her dribble. Gandara with it. She fires from long distance. Not even close. The Nooks save it, but right to the Vikings. Castaneda, left-hand dribble in the lane, hands off to Carly Zaragoza. She lays it up and in. Zaragoza now with 15 on the night.
I'm so excited to see how Zaragoza grows in her post offense. She's already so strong and gets to the rim at will. I wonder next season if she'll take any of Anna Schwecky's signature moves into her offensive arsenal.
Tolliver the steal, but look who dives for the basketball for the tie-up. It's Zaragoza. But the possession arrow is with the Nanooks.
That's the third time in this game that Zaragoza has been involved in a jump ball scenario. A lot of times, jump balls don't happen because whoever's holding on to the ball originally gets it ripped out by the defense. Zaragoza's so strong, not letting the ball get ripped away from her. Possession back to the Nanooks.
The long jumper is good by Gandara. She now has 20. One bright spot for UAF.
Yeah, her 8th game this season with 20-plus points.
What a save attempt there by Madison Coleman as she lost the basketball. But the official says she stepped on the baseline.
Cool stat here for Carly Zaragoza. There we go.
Just blend the name together.
Her points,
Why don't you?
Her points per minute, 15 points, 14 minutes over 1. Always an impressive stat if you can score 1 or more points a minute. Great breakout game by the freshman center.
Tolliver missed the 3 for UAF. Ball out of bounds. Back come the Vikings. That's Avery Dykstra across half court. Dykstra to Jamaica. Jamaica driving the left side of the lane. Shot is short. Rebound to Conwell.
Even though the Vikings have grown a 42-point lead, which is astounding in itself, they have really struggled in the layup department. They've missed a number of layups by either just short-arming it, too much power on it. Certainly, Carmen Dolfo, although she has to be proud of everything she's seen from her team, definitely a point of emphasis moving forward. Get back to the basics. Focus on making your lay-ins.
Coleman looking down low for Zaragoza. Instead goes outside to Jamaica. 10 to shoot. Jamaica spinning, nowhere to go. Monique Fierke now in the lane. Ball stripped away. Gandara recovers. Back comes UAF. 3 minutes remaining here in Bellingham. Gandara with 22 points. Into the paint. Shot is missed. Blocked by Dykstra. Coleman spins in the lane. Picks up the dribble. Finds Carly. The jumper is not good. It rims out.
Zaragoza had an opportunity there to actually drive close for the basket. She instead decided to shoot the mid-range jumper. Maybe should have just gone in and got the easy layup there.
Gandara misses the shot. Fierke the rebound ahead to Dykstra. Dykstra back to Fierke. Dykstra gets it back. Double foul the call.
Double foul called on Carly Zaragoza and on Samantha Sackerman. I believe the battle in the post was a bit too aggressive on both the offensive and defensive side. You don't often see a double foul called. Zaragoza with her 5th foul of the game. And she's done. Great performance by the freshman. 15 points, 7 rebounds. Get this, 6 of her 7 rebounds, offensive. 7 of 9 shooting for 77.8%. 7 rebounds, career high, and 15 points, another career high for number 34. Certainly a bright future ahead for her.
Bummed she missed the double-double by 3 rebounds, but still a great night for Zaragoza as Jamaica hits another jumper. 86-44 Vikings. Final 2 minutes here in Bellingham. There's Jamaica, the steal. Coleman picks up the loose ball, racing up the floor. What a move, but she cannot finish in the lane.
I was going to say that move right there, she was looking to the corner, and by looking to the corner, she actually didn't know how close to the basket she was, which threw off the layup attempt.
but she stays with it on defense and comes away with the steal in the other corner. And now UAF fouls her.
So many of the Vikings steals come right after a made or missed bucket when the opposing team gets a rebound and thinks they're in the clear and can now go set up their offense. Nope, there's always a Viking defender hiding right there. Just poke that ball out and get it right back. That's what Madison Coleman did on that last one. And she's rewarded with a trip to the free throw line. Knocks down the first one. Coleman, phenomenal three-point shooter, shooting 39% to lead this Vikings team, as well as just over 71% from the free throw line.
After the free throws, back come the Nanooks. Gendera, top of the key. Jumper from the right side. Of course, it is good as she now has 24 on the night. Castaneda for the Vikings. Picks up her dribble in the lane. Coleman. Left-hand dribble. Stops in the paint. The nice skip pass to Jamaica, and a foul is called with 1:08 remaining.
One of the really big highlights of this Western offense that makes them so good is how well they move the basketball. First in the conference in assists, Molly Olson leads the team with 4.8 assists per game. As a team, just about 19 assists a game, 16 in this one. When the offense is moving so well, when all 5 players on the courts are never stagnant. They're always moving, always backdoor cutting. Every ball handler always has their head on a swivel to find the cutters, find the open player. And so far, it's led them to a number of blowout victories.
Jamaica, a nice night tonight, 14 points. Does miss that free throw, though. 4 rebounds as well for Katrina. Make that 15 points now. 88-46, Western Washington.
If this score holds out, the Vikings are looking to secure a 40-point victory for the 4th time this season.
Bodies everywhere on WECU court. Looks like a wrestling match at the moment. Battle for the basketball. Just under a minute left.
7 of the Vikings' victories this year have been by 20 points or more. 3 have been by 40 points or more. Vikings leading late here by 44.
Look at both teams not giving up, even though there's only 51 seconds left. You want to stick with us right after the game ends. We'll have, of course, our head coach interview with Carmen Dolfo and the awesome Knights. We'll talk to Carly Zaragoza about her game.
Great all-around performance by the Vikings in this one, offensively and defensively. Certainly room to grow here.
Tolliver is bumped by Coleman. Foul called. She'll get 3 free throws. Just 28 seconds left.
I was looking over the GNAC women's basketball standings as I was trying to make that last statement. Alaska Anchorage leads the GNAC at 8-1. Their only loss is, of course, to the Vikings. Northwest Nazarene is tied with Simon Fraser at 7-2. The Vikings dropped a game to Simon Fraser, however, beat Northwest Nazarene. Western Washington sitting at 4th right now at 6-3 in GNAC play. Alaska Anchorage playing Simon Fraser tonight. Alaska Anchorage is to beat them. Western would move into 3rd place by themselves in the GNAC.
Final 20 seconds in yet another game where the Vikings led wire to wire.
Wire to wire, and they just make it so hard to come back when they're playing such smothering, aggressive defense. Gave them the Nooks no chance to get back in it. Held them to just 22% shooting in the first quarter, and that continued. Only 29% shooting by the Nooks in the game. Vikings win it, shooting 48% from the floor. A 41-point victory for Western Washington.
It doesn't get much better than that. 2 straight victories leading wire to wire. You sweep the Alaska series at home, and the Vikings stay undefeated at home.
on this GNAC season.
Vikings stay undefeated at home. They've just beaten the top 2 teams in the GNAC in Alaska Anchorage, Northwest Nazarene. This victory against the bottom team in the GNAC, Alaska Fairbanks. The next home game for the Vikings will be Thursday, January 30th, against the second to last team in the GNAC. The Vikings had a chance to square off against the 2 best, and they beat them. Vikings now have the chance to square off against the 2 lowest ranked, and already beat one of them.
Head coach Carmen Dolfo gets set to join me here courtside after the big 88-47 Western Washington win. The Vikings move to 13-5 overall, 7-3 in conference play. As head coach Carmen Dolfo joins me here courtside. Coach, you're undefeated at home. Another wire-to-wire victory for your team. A good one tonight.
Yeah, I thought our team, particularly in the first half, played some really good defense and moved the ball and played well together.
It was nice to see that you had a chance tonight to get some of your younger players involved.
Yeah, it's really nice that we had the opportunity to do that, and I think they did a great job. Carly, our post player, she did an awesome job. Just went in there and boarded hard and played well, and I think everyone did. So that was a really good team effort.
Career highs for Carly tonight, 15 points, 7 rebounds. But what was really impressive was her defense. She seems to just be very tenacious.
She really is, and she's worked at it, and she's moving her feet hard, and she just has a lot of potential, and I'm glad we're getting the opportunity to get her out there because I think she's just going to get better and better.
Well, you sweep the home series with the Alaska schools, but now you don't have to go on the road. More home cooking next week.
Yeah, so we've traveled a lot this season, and so it's just really nice to have these 2 weeks that we can be at home and get a little bit more rest than when we've been traveling, so that'll be nice. And we have some big games next week with Concordia, and we lost to Western Oregon there, and so we're going to have to be ready.
Well, get some rest, and we'll see you Thursday night against Concordia.
Okay, thank you.
Head coach Carmen Dolfo doing good things with the Western Washington Vikings as we get set to welcome in none other than Carly Zaragoza. She had 15 points, 7 rebounds tonight. As Carly joins me here courtside. Carly, great game. You set personal best here at Western, 15 points, 7 rebounds. What did you think about your game tonight?
I don't know. I think it was just a fight the whole time. It was a tough physical game, so I went in and did what I was told to do, which was crash hard and play good defense.
And you seem to be I told Coach that you seem very tenacious on defense, very active.
Yeah, I agree. I just really wanted to be able to be there for my team and do what we've been practicing. I know that's where I picked up a lot of my extra fouls, is trying to get there and do that extra thing where I know I'm supposed to be, but I know I can get there.
See a lot of your good work here on the screen. Rebounds, putbacks, you did a lot tonight. How much have some of the older players like the Anna Schweckes and Kelsey Rogers helped you this season?
Oh, tremendously. I follow them as a role leader. They're teaching me what to do, and I watch the way they play and really try to follow them.
Congratulations on the win. 15 points, 7 rebounds, career best for you. Get some rest, and we'll see you on Thursday night.
Thank you.
Carly Zaragoza doing great things this evening as the Vikings win it 88-47 over UAF. For everybody here at Vikings TV, that's John, Mike, Ron, Carla, Lexi, Carolyn, John, and Daniel. And of course, for Ben Bagley, I'm Sean Wally. Thanks for watching. Good night from Bellingham.